This podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Is it a chill or a ghostly breeze? A knock, a tap, what do you believe? Ghosts, gossip, gather around where the lost and the haunted are found. Ghosts, gossip, don't make a sound. Truth or tales, we'll dig it out.
I'm old. I'm going to tell you something. When you turn 40, literally when you turn 40, something happens to your brain and technology just dips out. And it's like, I was once smart and now I'm looking at my phone like this.
I am scared of that day because I consider myself a pretty techie person, and my dad was also a techie person, and suddenly he also stopped understanding computers. And I was like, you taught me how to do this.
When I tell you it happens like that, I am not kidding, because my dad still calls me asking for help and I help him, but just like this. And I knew it was there, but yet I still touched it.
That's an easy one. That's an easy mistake to make, though.
You're
I
being
have
very
side-
kind. Thank you.
You got muscle memory and stuff, you know? You gotta.
When I was working, we did not have a mouse with a side button. Back in my day. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ghost Gossip. My name is Ashley, and today I have two of my most favorite people. I don't think they realize how much I adore them. We have Ghost Binkers. We have Trev and Killian. Hello, guys. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. I love the praise.
I'm so flattered that you would say something like that about us. We're just two goofballs who make fun of ghosts.
I know, but I love it. I love it because it's so different and it's lighthearted. And Trev, you want to believe so bad, and I want that for you so bad. And then Killian swoops in, and I'm like, he's making a point.
Maybe we'll have to have you on to protect me from Killian.
Yeah, like first pass, you get Trev worked up in ghost mode.
Well, I will come on anytime. You just let me know. It's just, we were talking before we started. And like I told you, when you're experiencing it, when you have so many things that happen to you in a lifetime, it's easy to believe. But when you haven't and you want to believe, it makes sense why it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You know, I've never had a personal experience or anything really close since I was, maybe when I was a kid and I got scared, but like nothing even remotely in adulthood. And I'm starting to wonder now when I talk with more ghost people that maybe I'm just like my social inabilities have extended into ghosts, and the ghosts just like don't think I'm a good hang and don't want to be around me. It's like
Maybe if we don't move, he won't see us.
yeah, exactly.
They're scared of you instead of
No,
the other way
exactly.
around.
Well, we don't want to start that.
The demons are looking at the spirits like, we're more scared of him than he is of us. So we're just gonna like come over here.
Exactly.
It's either that or it's like you are ignoring everything that it's like
Yeah, they're sending signals, and I'm just like,
in high
yeah, the room is
school,
cold.
like, I was like not really like popular on the dating scene, and like anyone who was throwing themselves at me, if there was anyone, I was just like not getting that signal, and maybe that's like what's going on with you.
I was actually thinking, like, I'm like the really beautiful one at the bar, and the ghosts are like, we can't. I'm intimidated to go up to them. It's too much.
We're jealous of that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what my mama always told me. I was like, Mom, why don't people talk to me? And they're like, they're just jealous of you, honey. Now that
Yeah.
I'm a parent, she lied.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a point where I got older and I was like, oh, maybe I'm mean to people, and maybe I'm off-putting somehow,
That was me. I had the resting bitch face. But also, I would get hit on and I'd be like, why are you talking to me? Ew. So I had
Scare
no
them off.
This is sort of an awake bitch face at that point, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and what's really funny is somebody told me, like, really, it was my daughter. I will admit, it was my daughter. She's like, you have the biggest resting bitch face. And I was like, I can't see because I don't wear my glasses. So it's really just me trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
I have that problem too, and I also refuse to wear my glasses, and it's awkward at a certain distance because I'm like, I think I know that person, but I don't want to misidentify them, and then like it's even more awkward because that's not who I thought they were. So
And in your head, you're just like, who is that person? But your face is like this.
I used to work in this office, and it was like I'd be sitting in the back of the room. It was like a very small office, and I'd be at my desk, and then there was just windows all around me, and then it was like the inside of the building, so people would like walk around and like could look in and see me through all the like different angles of these windows. And I had to be really careful because I would like be on the phone with a parent, and I would hang up, and then my face would like reset from the phone voice face, where I'd be like, "Yeah, hi," and then I like put the phone on, and be like, and then someone
Uh-huh.
would walk by and see me like hang the phone up and like look like a murderer all of a sudden, and I was worried that I was gonna get like a talking to about it or something.
Oh, yeah. We had the customer service voice. It'd be like, "Thank you for calling. How may I help you?" And then we'd hang up and be like, "Oh my god, this idiot."
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So we just kind of jumped in, but guys, tell us who you are. Like my listeners are like, "Who are we talking to? We don't even know." But this is Ghost Binkers. I don't even know if I introduced you. I think I did.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, who are you? Tell us all about you.
All right, I'll start. So I'm Trev, and I am one half of the Ghost Binkers, and I am the idiot who came up with the name Ghost Binkers. We get a lot of people asking us questions about what that means, and I haven't really come up with like a really good elevator pitch, but basically what I'm going to say right now is that Ghost Binkers is just a play on Ghostbusters, but we don't really bust the ghosts. We just kind of like bink them with like a little tiny hammer. And that's the equivalent of us making fun of ghosts, basically.
It reminds me of the little guy in the Rudolph. I don't want to build toys.
Oh yeah,
Herbie?
Hermie.
Hermie.
Hermie
Yeah, him with his little hammer. Bink.
wants to be a dentist.
Yes.
Yeah, that's us. We're Hermie.
I want to be Yukon Cornelius. Thank you very much.
I want to be the Bumble.
And then your other half?
Yeah, I'm Killian. I'm the non-ghost believer half, I guess. I thought I was pretty ambivalent. I was like, yeah, I kind of believe. Sure, it's fine. And then every single ghost story, I'm like, no, I don't think so. So I guess I'm really skeptical. It turns out.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
I listened to the episodes and I will agree, you are the skeptic of the two of you. Like Daniel is my skeptic. He's like my touchstone. He kind of grounds me, pulls me back when I start spiraling. You are that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ground Trev like a plane crash, like a 10,000 pound. I yoink him into the ground as hard as I can. Apparently.
The ball shackle that keeps me tethered to the ground.
Yeah.
The visual I just got in my head, like boom.
Yeah, I try to fly. I try to fly with the ghosts. And my wings are not strong enough yet.
Mhm. No, and you look down, hanging around your legs like this.
How long have y'all been friends? I'm guessing y'all are friends beside just podcast partners, right?
We are only business associate. No, I'm just kidding. We've been friends since. Well, it's weird because I think we've been like close friends since probably like
Yeah.
senior year of high school. But I've known Killian since like fifth
Yeah.
grade.
10 years old or something.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought Killian hated me
Mm.
for no reason.
Yeah.
But that was not
It
true.
was the resting bitch face, and Trevor was probably talking about ghosts, and I didn't care. It was too much for him.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you didn't wear your glasses, if you didn't have glasses back then, you just couldn't see them, because I
I think
hear
that's
that's a
right.
contributing factor.
I
Yeah.
thought leaves were blurry when I was 10. That was just how it looked outside.
I still think that. So, how long have y'all been doing the podcast? Are y'all fairly new? Like, when I say new, I mean, just past year or so?
Yeah, I think April or May of of this past year.
I think we started recording in April and released in May.
Mhm.
This is actually not our first podcast. We try not to mention it, but I just can't like go without saying like we've actually done a podcast for like 4 or 5 years. But that one we call the failed podcast and we
Yeah.
don't really talk about it. It was fun while it lasted. And then this is try number 2.
That was more of like a variety. There was like lots of different people on it, and so
Yeah.
I was like a rotating guest on that one too. So this
Yep.
is more of like it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no bitterness there at all. It was rotating. He was just one of many.
Yeah, I kind of like it being a pinch hitter. Call me out and go up there, hit a bomb, go back to the bench.
I always wanted to have Killian on more too, but like everyone else could not live up to how fun and talkative Killian is.
I'm a yapper, yeah.
So I had to limit that a little bit.
Just like the ghost. I'm verbally overwhelming sometimes.
But on this show, Killian can yap. It's encouraged, actually.
Yeah. I love it. The first time, I don't even know how. I think I found y'all on TikTok. I think I came across you somewhere on TikTok or Instagram, one of the two. And I
Mhm.
watched a video and I was like, I really like them. Like, I really appreciate it. It made me laugh, but it was still so well done. And I was like, I got to follow them. And then it just kind of went from there. And I think it was probably right after you started that I came across you sometime because I think it was this summer sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you definitely stood out as, like, one of the first people that we didn't know that was showing us support, and so we actually really appreciate that, and it's been nice, like, having another person out there who's, like, cheering
Yeah,
for
the
us.
first non my mom responder, kind of thing.
I understand that because my mom, hi mom, she listens to every episode and she'll listen to this one and she'll probably text me, "Those boys were so nice. They made me
When I'm
laugh."
not around to stop it, my wife will, like, show my mom clips on TikTok and stuff of us, and then if I'm
Oh,
there, like, "No, put it away, don't show her."
Don't do that.
Trev, did you show Killian the picture of my husband with that filter of hair where he looked like I
I
have it.
don't think I did.
I
Yeah,
have
actually,
it.
I think we were planning to do this
Oh, yeah.
reveal on the show.
Yes, we were. So my husband, my lovely husband, my supportive, loving, strong, middle-aged husband decided to download an app that gave him hair.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Like a
And
gamut sort of.
yeah, he was like, just to wonder what it could be like, because so funny story, my husband went into the army at about 21 and he shaved his
Mhm.
hair because he's like, the army is Uncle Sam's not going to shave my hair because he had long hair kind of like you at the time. And he's like, I'm going to shave
Gotcha.
my own hair. And then it never grew back.
Brutal.
Yes.
Wow.
So he downloaded this app and I was like, oh my God, you look like Killian's uncle that's not invited to Christmas.
I still see
See,
it.
that's why, like, you can't download that app because now he's just gonna be thinking about that app all the time. He's gonna be like, "Wow, what if I could do that in real life?"
I had to stop myself from downloading the app.
Yep. I sent that to him and I was like, you won't believe what my husband just sent me.
Sometimes you think about how the other half lives, you know?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
we'll have
does.
to put up like a wanted poster or a side-by-side comparison and be like, who wore it better or something.
I'm on it. It will be right here when the video comes. If you're watching on YouTube, here's the comparison. It's gonna be right here, and we're gonna just be like, "Here you go. Ding." The power of editing, and figuring it out. But I learned how to put a picture on my YouTube video, so, I mean, that's something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone starts somewhere. I went to school for this stuff, and I ended up learning most of what I know on YouTube,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't really make a difference.
Well, I was in government and I left my position last I'm really smart, believe it or not, but I left my position last
Believe it.
August to be a stay-at-home mom and to focus on this. It really was to be a stay-at-home mom. We had some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I had this because I started this at the end of 2026 will be 4 years. So I was like, I'm really going to focus on the podcast because I really love it and I want to make it go somewhere. And I have been learning trial by fire. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn, but the way I look at it is just learn as you need the skill rather than trying to learn
Yeah.
everything at once. Like, that's just so overwhelming. But, like, if
Yes.
you're like, I need to know how to make this title spin around, then you just look
Look
that
that
up
up
and learn
specifically.
it.
Yeah.
What title spins around?
Just in case you need it.
Whatever title you want.
I recommend that you just get a friend from middle school. Get like an enterprising friend who's really good at editing and just have him do it all the time.
I'm really flattered that you think that I had friends in middle school. I was a dork in middle school.
Mm,
I actually have a
same
picture that I
here.
found, and I can find it if you would like to see it, but I had the floral so I'm an '80s baby, so y'all could do the math. So I grew up late '80s and through the '90s, and
Mhm.
so in middle school, floral, glasses, big old gap tooth right there. Yeah, I was cute.
It sounds like you probably would have fit right in our friend group.
Probably. This is why
Probably
we get
not
along
being
now.
with, like, the Limp Bizkit fashion of the time, though, I imagine. If we're in, like, early '90s, everyone's wearing, like, big jeans now, or something.
Oh,
The
no, I
floral
wasn't allowed
growth.
to wear big jeans.
Yeah.
I wasn't. No, I had to wear what my mom bought me from JCPenney.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to JCPenney.
Yep.
Shout
Arizona.
out to the ugliest New Balances you've ever seen from JCPenney.
Those are coming back. I heard that New Balances or Vans or something. All I know is I bought my first pair of New Balances and they're white with the gray N on them. And my husband goes, "How are those dishwasher 3000s going?" I'm like, "I will kill you."
Yeah. I picked out a pair with my mother when I was, like, 10, and my family was like, "Did you go to the grandpa shoe store for that?" And I was like, I hate you guys so much."
If Daniel was here, he would tell you about the shoes that his mom bought him from a discount store, and I can't remember what they were, but all he wanted was, like, a pair of Nikes, and so she went to, like, equivalent, like, of a Dollar General and got him some and made him wear them, and he was, like, miserable.
You don't wanna skimp on shoes. You don't want a Dollar General your shoes. That's
No, no. So Trev, I'm gonna start with you. How did you get into wanting to love and experience the paranormal?
Yeah, it's weird because I've been a scaredy cat for pretty much my entire life. I did grow up in a home that was built in, I believe, the early 1800s, at least for like the first like 8 years of my life. And I like got some spooky occurrences. I mean, I was scared of the basement, but like what kid wasn't scared of the
Right.
basement?
All basements are creepy.
But I do, and I say this on on our show all the time, which is I have seen a shadow person, so I am contractually obligated to believe shadow people's stories. I was also 6, so I don't really know what I was seeing, but I like to lean into that. And then I don't know, I've always been drawn to like spooky stories or abandoned places. I'm a big fan, and I always like the ghost type. This is one of them behind me. But yeah, so I've always been kind of drawn to it, and I don't really know why. I have to assume it has something to do with, like, fear crossing over into, like, intrigue or curiosity or something like that.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, I have seen a shadow person. I was not 6, and if you would like, I would tell you my story,
I would love
but
that.
do you wanna hear it right now?
It's up to you. This is your show, so I'll let you do what you wanna do, but, I would love to hear that at some point because, I need extra points for the shadow team.
Well, I will tell you that in my last studio, in my last house that was haunted, I was in the basement, of course, and my studio was in the basement. There's only one door, and there were 2 lights. They were sitting across from each other. One was on the wall. It was like a sconce on the wall, and then there was a lamp on my desk. I
Mhm.
was editing. My back was to the wall behind me, and I was facing the door and the sconce. At the time, the ghost hated me. We had been going round and round. He had been making my life a living hell.
Is this Wayne?
And Wayne, yes, it was
I love
Wayne. Yes, I see, yes. Wayne and I have a love-hate relationship still to this day, and I was sitting there editing, I was on my laptop, it was just me. I had installed a lock on the door because my kids were younger, and they thought my stuff was really cool, so I had installed a lock on the door to keep them out so they wouldn't play, so I had locked my door, so I was the only one in my studio, and this shadow appeared in front of me, and it was floor to ceiling, and it had a head and shoulders, and I wasn't looking away, I was looking dead at it, and it materialized in front of me, and it moved right to left to the corner, and I sat there, and I was like, "Oh my god," I just got chills, like, just reliving it, and I sat there and I looked at it and I got sick. All of a sudden, my head started to hurt and I got really nauseous. And it was just my instinct said run. So I grabbed my laptop, I unplugged it from the wall. I got out there and I went up the stairs and I went to Daniel and I was like, I just saw like a 7-foot shadow person in front of me. And he goes, there's no way. It must have been you. And I was like, I was sitting down. I wasn't even moving. And it appeared and it moved in front of me. So he came down and we tried to recreate it because I try to debunk. I want to debunk. I don't want to believe everything. I don't want to be one of those people like everything is paranormal because it's not. It's just not. And we tried to recreate it. My husband's 6'1". No matter what we did, he could not create the shadow that moved between the 2 light sources right to left. There was no way, no how. We tried and he goes, I don't know. I don't know. So
And I haven't been able to fully piece together the room in my head, but I have a vague
I
idea,
can't do
and
spatial reasoning, so I have
I
no
have a
clue. Yeah.
picture I will send you.
Okay.
I
I was trying to imagine the space, and you said a sconce, and I hadn't pictured a sconce. I was like, "Oh, it's over."
I don't even know what a sconce is. What the hell is
I
a
can't
sconce?
visualize a sconce anymore.
but based on what you were saying, like, I also feel like the lights would, like, kinda cancel out some shadows or something, which
Mhm.
would stop that from happening.
Yeah.
You know what? Point 1 for the believers, for our junior binkers.
Point two, he's 7 feet. Get him on the Celtics, baby. Get some interior
Right.
defense from that shadow guy.
Fun fact, he was a very big man in life. He was over 6'5", I believe, from what I've heard, and
Oh,
he was a Mr. Universe in the '80s. So he was a very large man. I know a lot about this man. I know more about him than I do some of my family. It's weird.
The ghost is jacked?
Yeah, well, he was.
He's
I
yoked?
don't know if he died jacked, but
You don't know if it carries through.
no, I don't think it carried through.
I'd be
Maybe
mad.
well, he is mad.
Yeah, no, that might be it. Like, if I got really big and then I get Ghost World, I'm barely benching, like, 250, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?
that's fair. I think that,
Right.
that makes sense.
I did Annabelle for this?"
Killian figured it out. No wonder he's so angry. He
Yeah.
lost his muscle mass in death.
Yeah, or he just, like, still has roid rage. He
Yeah.
just still his
Oh.
body's not making the right chemical.
Or both. He lost
Yeah.
the muscle mass, but still had the roid
Wow.
rage, which made him double mad.
I'm just gonna say, y'all aren't gonna be the one to handle the consequences of us talking about him, so it's gonna come on me.
I was gonna say, I don't wanna, I definitely don't want to incense any spirits, you know?
No, you're fine. He's all right. He leaves me alone for the most part. Every once in a while when I'm talking about him, if I do an interview on another show and I start talking about him, I'll feel him kinda like
Mm.
because I'm sensitive. I don't know if Trev told you, I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
So I'll feel him kinda show up, and I know his feeling, and I'll be like, "Okay,
Mm.
okay." And then he'll go back home.
You ever try to, like, lure him out by, like, half repping dumbbell curls or something? You know, like, do, like, a bad lift form, you know?
He can't help but correct your
He's like,
form a
"Get
little.
your knees lower," he's like, shows up.
No, but I will say, when I used to work out in that house, I felt like I was being judged the whole
Yeah.
time.
No.
That
I
makes
You're not
sense.
going low enough. I
Uh,
know I'm fat.
your knees are going over your toes. Your knees are going over your toes. You're like, "Okay, Wayne, thank you."
If it makes him feel less offended by us talking about him, my dad is named Wayne, and I think it's a great name. So
It's a good solid
that's a
name.
compliment to him.
I think it's cool
Okay.
to be big in life. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Alright. So that's my shadow person story.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
That's spooky.
Right.
I think the closed roomedness of it makes it spookier too, right? Like it's a I definitely like sitting in a room and having like hallways and lights is definitely like already like a spooky. It's a weird feeling looking out, working and looking out through a door. There's like some I don't know, like ever been in like a
Yeah.
library, like you're sitting at the end of a hallway and you like people are walking by sometimes. You like
Mhm.
feel like you're watched even just because the way it's set up is strange,
Yes.
you know.
Well, and it's funny because the podcast I was working on at the time, like you, I had another failed podcast before this one, and I was working on that one. I wasn't even really into the paranormal yet. Like, I was, but
Mm,
I wasn't, I was kinda
yeah.
dipping my toe gently because I was scared. I was living in it, so I wasn't, balls to the wall yet like I am now, and yeah, it was something, and not I just wanna tell you my shadow person, so I'm with you. Shadow people are real.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, Killian. So you haven't had an experience. Have you just did you just, like it doesn't exist?
Yeah, so, when I was little, I told this on another podcast too, I think at some point or something, I'm trying to remember, but, when I was really little, I had what I thought was a ghost experience where I got up in the middle of the night and I saw, like, my mother walking by all ghostly style, and then the floor was like a big hole, and I remember pressing my little, like, seven-year-old body up against my dresser and, like, scooting around the hole, and I was really scared, and then my mom was in bed when I went in there, and I was like, "Oh my god, I saw a ghost, blah, blah, blah." And then, the next night, I had another nightmare with, like, the hole, and I was, like, peeking over the bed looking at the hole, and then, there was a ghost in the hole, but it was Haunter from and I was like, "Hey, wait, that's a poke." So I woke up and I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not a ghost, that's a cartoon I saw." And then I was kinda like, "Okay, so I definitely didn't see a ghost because I don't think ghosts look like I don't think they happen to look like the Pope." And then I was an enterprising little boy, so went to the library computer and was like, "Why do you see stuff when you fall asleep?" And I learned about sleep paralysis, and then I was like, "Oh, I have that." And so I get really vivid like nightmares. I get really vivid sleep paralysis and stuff. That's maybe as close as I get to like paranormal-ish in terms of
Yeah.
experiences. And then I like paranormal stuff because when I was a child, I got into anime, and there's two shows, Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach, are both about like people fighting ghosts and spirits and demon monsters that are vaguely like ghostly. And so I got very into the idea of like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna kill the bad ghosts so the good ghosts can go to heaven. And then I turned 30. I have a full time job now. You know,
And then the imagination dies.
yeah. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get a sword from a cool lady at any point.
I mean, you might. You just never know.
The cool lady in my life is very restrictive about swords currently, so I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah. I'm it's not so much like my husband probably talks like that about me, and it's not a sword. It's usually he's like, "Look at this like rifle." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"You don't need it."
Yeah, you get long range or short range, and I'm a short range person, and, so whenever we're, like, at a mall, and I'll be like, "Whoa, look at that. They have a sword from this anime," and Terry's like, "No, you're not doing that. We're
He's
leaving.
like,
We're going to the food court."
"No." And then walks off. Okay.
Yeah.
She likes me. Okay. That's my husband. She's pretty and she lets me touch her butt. So okay.
That's really all we want.
Yeah, that's sort of the standard, you know?
Yep. My mom's gonna be like, Ashley. Oh,
This is a sort of a saucy episode of the pod, you know?
We
this one's
tend to bring that
rated.
out, wherever we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell me, I want to know about Nelly. Is it
Oh.
Butler? Nelly Butler?
Yeah, Nelly Butler. So Nelly Butler is, I think, still to this day our favorite ghost story. She's actually considered one of like America's first real ghost stories. So she was I'm trying to remember where she's from. She was in Maine in the flat year 1800. So that's I feel like that's our favorite time for ghosts. That's kind of like when things are like still kind of spooky without being like too modern.
And the clothes are spooky.
The
If a
clothes are
ghost shows up looking like
spooky.
that, it's spooky.
Well, and it was about
Um,
the time they were, like, worshiping them and calling them and playing games to summon them, like, it was about that time frame that they were, like, really into Ghost.
yeah, I have noticed that like I feel like the people from I don't know, maybe like the 1700s to the 1800s are like really like always trying to find a way to bring things back to ghosts or
Mhm.
something.
Well, nowadays, kids won't get off the damn Roblox to summon a demon or whatever, you know? They're
Don't even get me started about Roadblock.
Oh my god.
it's a mom activation word, you know?
I'm triggered.
So there was this woman named Nellie Hooper who married a man. He didn't have a first name in the book that I read about this, but he went by Captain Butler, and that's how she became Nellie Butler. 10 years after they got married, she gave birth to a child, and both of them died during childbirth. So that kind of sets the scene for some ghost haunting going on. What ended up happening is that the husband fell in love with another woman pretty shortly after, and her name was Hannah. And the entire like both families were super opposed to them getting together, understandably
I'm
so.
also assuming Hannah was like 14.
That's
If I know 1800s men,
that's a pattern we've
Right.
all found.
yeah.
Oof.
So basically everyone was anti them getting together, except the spirit of Nellie Butler, who in a crazy turn of events becomes the wing woman for her ex-husband, essentially.
She was oddly progressive for that time period.
I know.
Yeah.
She really rocks.
So she was like she was pushing really hard for them to be together. And even like at one point said that their relationship was destined by God. So like she kind of became like a very religious spirit. I don't know how religious she was in her waking life. I didn't get a chance to read about that. But in her afterlife, she was always talking about like heaven and God and all that. And she was saying like these people need to be together. They are destined by God to be together.
I have a
And
question.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
Were other people hearing Nellie Butler talking about the destiny of them to be together, or was it just the husband?
People were hearing Nelly Butler.
Okay, okay,
Well,
okay.
so that's the weird part is that a lot of people thought that the husband and Hannah were making this up to justify why they should be together. But Nellie did keep appearing to different people and saying like, "Go bring this person over and come have them talk to me.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them."
80% of the stories that Trev read in the episode are Nelly Butler being like, "No, I'll show up. I'll walk in right now. I don't care. I'll walk in. Bring 5 people in the room. I'll walk." And she just like shows up to 5 people. And it's like, "Yeah, it's me, Nelly. I'm an orb. I'm a lady now. Bye." It's incredible.
Yeah.
Let them get
So
married.
like
Let's go.
Yeah. She's like, "Who cares? I don't care who I'm dead. Whatever."
But yeah, so Nellie was doing some weird things. She at one point requested that her child be dug up and moved to a different spot. And then at the ceremony, she like loudly sang hymns
Oh,
and
yeah.
like preached scriptures and stuff like that.
There was like 100 people at the ceremony and they all heard her singing really loudly, which I think is awesome. That she was like, "Move my baby." And then she's like, "All right, time to
she
do
was
a little, do a little tune for everybody."
It's
a
my
showgirl.
time to shine, everybody.
Yeah. Singing, Wicked or whatever.
And then the other thing that was interesting and kind of why people actually believed so strongly in her is that at the wedding of her ex-husband, Captain Butler, and Hannah, she predicted correctly that Hannah would die in childbirth less than a year later. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, for the record, it was 1800. Hannah might have been 14, and kids were dying in childbirth a lot. It's like a very
Sure
reasonable gamble.
that Mr. or General Butler didn't have something to do
Yeah.
with his wives and kids just kind of peeling off.
There's a couple of theories.
Yeah.
And also, there's a point in a lot of the stories where I kind of thought that like I think Nelly Butler might just be alive. They might just be like it might be like tax fraud where they were like, okay, the church will get really mad if we get divorced, but like if Nelly dies, and then like Nelly showing up, she goes into a room with 4 people and she's like, look, I'm not dead. Shut up. Stop putting my business out there. Like I'm really chill. Just like go live in Maine and leave me alone. And they were like, oh yeah, she's cool. And they were like, yeah, she's a ghost.
Listen to her sing. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, because people would describe seeing like her full body apparition, but she would be like a glowing, like light type
Mhm.
Yeah, she'd start
apparition.
as like a ball of light sometimes and then become a full body.
She would fly around and like she would find people walking and she would say, "You need to be lined up in order if you want me to appear before you," and like things like that. Like she was very, I don't want to say like narcissistic,
Yeah, no,
but
she
like
was. It was awesome.
the world kind of revolved around her. I think that's like, I don't know, that is the first and only time we've ever ran into a ghost that acted that way.
Yeah. It's the first haunting where the ghost is a baddie and sort of knows it. And it's just like, hey,
A
you want me to
bat.
show up, right? You better get in line.
Now you see me, now you don't. You want to see me? No, you don't. You're not lined up right.
Every story is very snippy and fun, and I think she's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
I
she's
love
great.
that.
She also had apparently like a really shrill voice. So like I'm just picturing her showing up to places and being like, "All right, everybody, listen up," and just like bossing people around.
I was assuming like Fran Drescher from The Nanny.
Maybe that makes more sense. But I like
Mr. Sheffield doing that, like yeah, exactly.
I'll never do that again. Anybody, never ask me to do that again.
we're gonna clip that.
Oh gosh, no,
Maybe we'll
please
put it on the
don't.
soundboard. You got to be careful making sounds.
Well, I mean, I'd be honored, but of all the things,
In 20 episodes, that'll come out, and then like a weird moan I did one time and a giggle. It'll be all mixed together in some awful way.
see, that's a good thing about like, sorry, what now?
I was just resisting the urge to hit that button right now.
You're like, no, no. Well, see, and that's the good thing about me is being old. It takes me a long time to figure out how to clip anything and make it a sound. And I have a roadcaster. I have a nice thing here,
That
and
is
I
nice.
don't know how to use it. It's just it's here and it's pretty.
Sometimes that's all you need.
That's true. That's true. So, what about your rules?
Oh.
Our Ghost Binker
Mhm.
rules.
Yes, your Ghost Binker rules. I've heard a few of them. They seem to continue to grow as I listen.
Yeah. So what happens is they will be talking about a ghost, and then I will ask a question, and then Trev will start saying an answer, and I'm like, "How do you know that? Where did you get that information from?" And then we realize it's from nowhere. It's from like something he assumed, and then so we're trying to dig into the rules all the time. They're ever expanding. They contract sometimes when we forget to add 3 on. It's just a nebulous idea of like what are the structures that underpin this whole ghost thing. I'm very rules based, so I like
I
having rules.
appreciate that. I'm a rule follower, so I love some rules.
I think it comes from anime. I'm like, I need to know which ghost is stronger than another. I need to like power scale the ghosts in order. I got to know who can win in a fight.
And I also think it just helps ground it in some sort of science, even if it's pseudoscience. It's still like, okay, so we know that when it's a shadow person, they come from deep malice. And that is the only time a shadow person is formed. Stuff like that. But we've actually come up with so many like splitting rules and stuff that I've divided them in my notes into like different categories. So like we have Ghost Binker sins, which is like anything involving a business interest. When people claim they're a skeptic, but then don't do what you do and like try to debunk first and then believe, like they'll just be like, I'm a stark skeptic.
Some of the stories, people will be like, I'm really skeptic. And then they walk into a building and they hear a sound and they're like, obviously it was a demon. And you're like, I don't know if you're that skeptic. If one sound puts you off, like at least like see the thing first.
Don't even get me started. It's demonic, y'all.
Yeah.
I think we're just hungry. I think she's just hungry over here.
It's not demonic, it's just hangry. One of the things that actually really bothers me the most, I know it bothers Killian, but this is probably my biggest Ghost Binker sin that I run into is when articles or people claim that something is the most haunted blank in blank
Yes.
all the time.
Every single one of them. The most haunted hotel, the most haunted house, the most haunted prison. Yes.
Well, and
Agreed.
then, oh, this is the most haunted amusement park in Dunbury, Nebraska. And you're like, what? What is the competition there? And then like, I don't know. And then especially in New England too, they'll be like, oh, this is the most haunted hotel. And you're like, the most haunted hotel in Vermont? Really? There's got to be some competition. That's like there's a bunch of old hotels up there. There's got to be tons of them. You're not going to even say like, oh, we're the third most haunted hotel. It's always the first.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree with that because I'm like, I'll be sitting there. I love ghost shows. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I watch them and I try to like figure out like, well, how do we know that they don't have something on the other side of the wall doing
Mhm.
something, you know? And I
Yeah.
love them. I enjoy them. I am a believer. So like I love to watch them, but I'm still like, I've
Mhm.
been in some of these places. Okay. And I've had places like nothing happen, and I've had places like freak me the F out, and I'm like, "I need to get out of here." And there's been other times I've been sleeping and hear scratching on the ceiling, and I shoot up, and I'm like, "What is that?" And then I go back to sleep because it's not bother I need sleep. I'm old. I need to go to bed. But, like, how was everything the most haunted ever?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is the scale? Where's the scale? Where's the I can't even brain fog. I don't even know what I'm trying to say,
No,
but
these are the
where
kinds of
are the
things that
standards?
I also mumbled about where I'm like, "I need put a list. I need to order a list. I need criteria
Yeah.
for what gets haunted."
Who is the ghost accountant who is,
Yeah,
like, accrediting these
exactly.
places and, like, counting how many ghosts every place
Yeah,
has?
you have some light shadow activity, but that you're probably like 4th most haunted. I didn't really see any full bodies or, advanced specters that I'm looking for in a top most haunted location, so this is gonna be 4th place. Damn, maybe next year we'll get a demon up in the attic, get to 3rd place, you know?
That's what drives me the most crazy is everything's demonic. Like, some of these
Yeah.
shows, I've stopped watching shows because they go and they're like, "It's demonic." And I'm like, "Not." I had a crotchety old man up his stairs, and all I had to do was offer him a bedroom and tell him, "Just stop messing with my kids, and you can make as much noise as you want." And guess what? He chilled out.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I'm
yes."
I'm not I'm not like, I'm not religious or anything too, so when the demonic stuff comes up, I'm kinda like, "Alright, okay. I get it, it's Jesus again. Calm down." It just feels very like, "Alright, yeah, I know. Oh, Lord, I gotcha."
I don't really talk about religion on the podcast, but I grew up Catholic, but I did talk to a demonologist, like an ancient
Mhm.
demonologist a
Yeah.
few episodes back. He was fascinating. He was fascinating. And he's like, I mean, JJ, his name's JJ. Amazing. He had one of the scariest ghost stories I've ever heard in my life. It rocked me a little bit, and I've heard a lot of them, and I'm like, that scares me.
I do think that stuff is really interesting, even if it is not necessarily true, some of it, all of it, none of it. I
Don't be too firm.
I just
Yes,
like
this is a
the
paranormal podcast. Don't
story
make me
Hedge
look
your
like
aspect.
bets,
one.
bud.
The story aspect is really cool. It's just when people try to pass things off that are not true as true, that's kind of where I
Yes.
take issue. If you
Yeah.
just told me up front it's not true, I will rock with you until the story is over and have a great time.
Well,
Right.
even like an evil ghost, I'd feel a little bad about trying to kill. But once you say there's a demon, I'm like, well, you should let me try and kill him. Should let me get in there. Give me a sword or something. I'll do my best, you know? Because like a bad ghost, it could be a spirit who got corrupted because they died in some way and it's just misplaced energy, you know. But a demon, that's like a wicked little guy. I gotta send him to hell. I gotta put him back where he came from.
He's gotta go. He's gotta
Yeah,
go.
I gotta banish him. I'm doing literally the Lord's work if I do that.
Fact. I mean, that's what I hear anyway.
Yeah, but the top most haunted places and the business interest go hand in hand too a lot of times. So, because they're like, "Oh, you should
Yeah.
you should come stay at the most haunted hotel, and then you should give us $612 for an Airbnb in the most haunted hotel." And you're like, "Okay, well, I don't wanna
Okay.
do that." And then I feel
Well,
like you're gotta bang on the walls, right? If you're a quiet location and you're trying to be the most haunted hotel, you gotta make someone climb up in the attic and knock around up there or something, scare the guests a bit.
I gotta tell you about my stay at one of the most haunted hotels in America. You wanna hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go next week, actually. I'm going back next week. It's the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It was the first haunted hotel I ever went to. I'm not sure if y'all know anything about it. It is my most favorite haunted location of all the places that I have seen and learned about. I love it. It's beautiful. It calls to me, and I don't know why. I'm just very drawn to it. Of all places, like, why can't I be drawn to the
I
Caribbean?
know.
I'm drawn to
Palm Beach.
Arkansas, you know? My husband had not had really any experiences at this point, and so skeptic, he's just going because he loves me. Again, I let him touch my butt. He
What a
takes me
guy.
places. It's a good time. We are there, and we are on the 3rd floor. So the 3rd floor in the Crescent Hotel is where they would put the psychiatric patients, and so when I say psychiatric patients, do you know anything about the Crescent?
Not too much, no.
So it was originally a resort, and then it changed to a woman's college, and then it went to Norman Baker's cancer treatment facility, cancer hospital. Like, this guy was a charlatan who claimed that he had a cure for cancer in the 1930s.
I should have seen it coming when it was in the South. I should have been like, I should have been sussing out the Arkansas of it all.
People flocked there from all over the world to get cured for cancer. And what he would do, he would actually inject them with this thing that he was like, I can't remember what it was called. Like I said, it all starts blending together when you start researching all of this over and over. But it was like something number 5, and it was all these different oils and waters and acids. And he would inject these people multiple times a day. Needless to say, they died because it wasn't doing anything except torturing them. But he would tell them, I have 100% success rate, because what he would do is he would send them on their way when they were dying before they could die, or they would move them to the 3rd floor and call it, well, they're losing their mind from the illness. And so I'm putting them on the psychiatric unit, and eventually they would die. And at 3:30 in the morning, his nurse would move the bodies down into the morgue in the basement. So rumor has it that people have experienced and heard the nurse pushing the gurney, and she's like a residual haunting. She doesn't interact with anybody, but people have seen her and heard her pushing this gurney up the 3rd floor. So this guy is telling us the story, and I'm like, hey, have you ever had any experiences here? And he goes, I'm not dumb enough to stay here. And he's like, y'all are from South Carolina? Y'all came all the way from South Carolina to stay here? I'm like, yes. So we went to bed, and he did tell us we closed down the restaurant on the 4th floor every night at 11 p.m. because this is a hotel and people go to bed.
Yeah.
We were staying directly underneath the restaurant. The restaurant was all carpet. This all makes sense, I promise. 3:30 in the morning, my husband and I are sleeping. We're exhausted. We started early traveling, so, exhausted. And at 3:30, we heard scratching over our heads on the ceiling, going from our headboard towards where the elevator is. We both shot up. It was so loud. I was like, that is scratching on the ceiling. And we both stared, and it stopped. And we laid down and we went back to sleep. It didn't bother us any. But the next day, we were like, what was that? And I was saying, maybe they were dragging the chairs. Maybe they were cleaning up. And I was like, he told us they close at 11, and it's carpet.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
carpet.
It was wild. I can't wait to go back. I cannot wait to go back. So I also got grabbed there.
Some poor 17-year-old night manager. And they're like, all right, Jim, go grab the gurney, drag it around upstairs, give the guests a little spook.
Get in your nurse's uniform, Jim.
Yeah. He's like, I guess if I have to put on pumps and get in my nurse's uniform, I will.
Or
Poor
that
Jim.
could be an echo spirit.
What
which
is an echo?
Not too hard pivot back to the laws
rules.
of ghosts.
I told you I wanted to hear about these rules.
So we have some theories on like different types of ghosts, what causes them, what they're made of, and all that. And one of those is kind of like an echo of time, which is the type of spirit that you'll see in media sometimes, which just kind of reenacts a certain thing over and over again. It doesn't really interact with other
Residual.
people or anything. Yeah, residual energy is probably the more professional term. This is the Binker term. And it basically just reenacts either a death or an action that was significant in its life or something like that.
Yeah.
So my echo ghost would be playing PlayStation a lot, I assume. He'd be sitting on my couch, not moving, and just playing PlayStation. And he'd be like, is he going to do something? And I'd be like, my ghost would just be sitting there like this 4 hours.
That's all he does.
Yeah, I know. He's happy.
Yeah,
I would just be editing a podcast.
That's how I feel. That's mine right there. I'm editing.
Yeah.
I'm recording. Be quiet. Stop washing laundry. It's literally the laundry room's under me. So I'm like, no, don't start that yet.
Well, that's my worry, is that like I'd get stuck at a job.
No.
Like what? Like
No.
when someone gets like, sometimes when people like get killed or something, that's when like they're like, oh, this ghost is because of this big. But like if someone came in and like axed me at the office, and then my stupid dumbass ghost is walking around like, well, I hope paperwork gets filed today. Like I don't want that to happen. I can't do that.
No. Can't do that. No. Exactly. I know, understand, because I pushed papers for many years. No,
Yeah.
that sounds like hell.
I'm a big in whatever world I believe in a ghost existing, it would have to be able to like not do some stuff. It has to have a choice about not running the same patterns over and over again.
Oh, that sounds miserable. Could you imagine like a housewife, like if she was like washing dishes or doing laundry? That is no.
Not to get too morbid, but if you get like killed in your house, you're like, cool, I guess my spirit's here forever. That's like a bummer.
Oh gosh. Well, and they say that happens.
Yeah, no, I know. That's like the Lizzie Borden or whatever. Her mom's head's rolling around on the stairs.
That is
That's
yeah.
not
There's
exactly right.
Yeah, you get the gist. Close enough.
that spot. We actually live near the Lizzie Borden house. I won't say exactly where, but we are within a a certain mile radius
Mhm.
of it, and I've actually never been there, but it's in an area of the city that kind of shocks me. It is, like, in almost like the town center, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a very busy
It's
area.
very foregrounded in Fall River, yeah.
I was just there in September.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
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 I looked up how much it costs to stay there and was like, I'm good. Ghosts can roam around freely. See you later."
And yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't stay there. I just went for
Yeah.
a tour. We were
Yes.
staying in Boston. What's funny, we stayed at the Omni Parker Hotel because they say it's the most haunted hotel in Boston.
Yeah.
It got me because I love staying at haunted places. I like to experience things. It was our anniversary, so I was like, "Let's go." And I will say between 2 to 3, I don't know exactly what time because I was sleeping. I had my tripod, which was about 4 to 6 feet from the bed, and it wasn't moving. We had done an Estes session, so I had recorded Daniel doing an Estes session before he went to bed. Say that 5 times fast. Good lord. And so I had moved it to, like, where the, like, armchair was, and between 2 and 3 in the morning, something pushed it over on me, and it hit me on the back. I woke up with this tripod lying across my back, and I did check Daniel. He was still in bed. Now, he is a
Mm.
big man. He doesn't move that fast, right? So, I don't think he tried to smash me with the tripod, but I
Not a
could be
great
wrong.
break either, and
So
back in bed.
yes,
You
that
will not get long hair. Ugh.
you said I look like Killian's horrible
Yeah.
uncle, not invited to Thanksgiving.
I look like their cousin.
But yeah, that was about the only thing that happened there. I didn't,
Yeah.
you know.
Anytime I hear a ghost story in Boston, I'm like, "Nah, rats. Rats. Sorry." I lived in Boston.
Oh,
I lived in Boston proper in Back Bay, and, we had, like, rats big time in our apartment, and that's the closest I've ever felt to, like, feeling what people describe when they describe a ghost experience, because it is like, I hear sounds in the walls and, like, because your brain is designed to not be near rats because they carry disease, like, when their feet skitter, your brain is like, "What is that?" It, like, lights up immediately, like, you're so alert that, like, I can hear a rat, like and we have 2 guinea pigs, so we have, like, little feet pattering around,
right.
and
Mhm.
when I heard a rat on my kitchen floor, I was like, that is a rat in there," and I would run in there, and then the rat would be, like, looking at me. I'd be like, I don't know what to do because it's there. I'd be like, "Get out of here," and I'd chase it around, but yeah, that was the rats are the closest I felt to being haunted, and rats will they knock stuff over, they grab stuff, they'll pull bread around, they're like they make a mess.
I mean, you were haunted by rats.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I haven't killed a ghost yet, but I killed quite a few rats.
I used to have 2 pet rats.
That was the hard part was that, like, when I would have to get rid of them from the apartment, I, like, think they're cute.
I had a Dumbo rat, so I had a rat that had big floppy ears,
Oh,
and his name was Astrodamus, and I called him Astro, and he
wonderful.
got out of his cage one night, and he crawled up the bed and got on my chest and fell asleep on my chest. He was the best rat. Astro really was such a good I would have a rat before I had a hamster any day.
Oh, yeah.
Rats are, like, super, super emotional and very sweet and
He's smart.
they're very thoughtful
Yes.
pets. Yeah, they like good thinkers.
Yes.
I friend who had
They
pet
just
rats.
sit here.
They always do the same thing. Yeah, they would climb on your shoulders, and they're smart
Mhm.
and can do stuff. Guinea pigs are sort of in between. They're like, they're kinda dumb, but they're fun.
They're so cute too. They're
Yeah.
just like, "Squeak, squeak." My listeners are gonna hear this and be like, "She likes rats?"
Everyone always gets really confounded when I was like, "Oh, the hard part was the rats are really cute," and they'd be like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, they're like they got little eyes," and then, like, it'd be under my couch trying to steal my bread, and I'd be like, "Hey," and it'd look at me and be like,
I
I'm like,
know.
"Oh, little buddy."
I know. See
I feel like
see,
it's
I get it.
I think because like, I don't know, you telling us about the rats, like, I think both of us now think even higher of you, but maybe some people don't like that, but I do.
Well, if they don't, then they're not my people. That's how I feel. You get older and you're just like,
What?
"Okay, whatever. You don't pay my bills, whatever."
Done with you.
Yeah. Well, I will survive. So, what other rules? Any other,
Mm.
like, laws that stand out?
Yeah, yeah, laws of paraphysics, right? That's what we're going for.
It's a big word we made up.
So, one of the biggest things, and this was kind of like a throwaway joke that has now become a big part of our laws, which is, a ghostable state. If you die in a ghostable state, you become a ghost. Because we were
Yeah.
trying to figure out what causes some people to become ghosts and other people not to.
Right,
Right.
because if just dying or being killed made you become a ghost, there would be, like, 12 million ghosts on every interstate highway, right? So there needs to be something that makes you become a ghost, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and so we kinda came to the conclusion, or I don't wanna throw these words in Killian's mouth. I'll own it myself. I think a ghostable state is if you die while you have some sort of heightened emotion, typically negative emotion,
Yeah.
or like during some sort of traumatic event. The trauma isn't necessarily required to be in a ghostable state, but it does increase those odds. And then this one I'm not so sure of, but I did write this, so I will say it. It's possible for someone to retroactively be put in a ghostable state due to actions taken towards their remains.
Yeah, there's a ghost vampire that got dug up, and then like there was no ghost activity before that, but they got dug up. Their body was
Okay.
disinterred. What's the term? You know, they
Yeah, yeah.
scooped them up,
Exhumed.
exhumed. They like ground her up and drank her. And they did a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Mercy Brown is
Yeah,
actually a really interesting story,
it's insane.
and
This is
it's
like
local
full.
to our
Yeah,
area.
it is full like Puritan pilgrim problem solving, where they were like, "Oh, you have tuberculosis, you got to drink your sister's organs, your dead sister's organs. You got to do that.
Yeah,
We're gonna burn them first.
Obviously.
Don't worry. So you're gonna drink an ashy sludge, I assume.
it's messed up.
I
Yeah, and
haven't eaten
so
dinner yet.
right. Well, don't eat ashy sludge. I would recommend. But so we were like trying to figure out like, okay, obviously there has to be some way to become a ghost after you died because no one talked about her being a ghost before then. So that was how that rule got tacked on.
Yeah. It's kinda nonsense, but I guess it also kinda makes a tiny bit of sense.
I mean, I guess that does. I mean, if they're resting peacefully and they're just like, "Ah," and then they're like, "Wait, where'd it go?" I mean,
I think.
I'll bite. Yeah.
Yeah, we did an episode on the Great Chicago Fire as well, and then I think they like had a bunch of mass graves basically for people who died in the fire, and I think they just like built the zoo on top of it, and so people were like, that must have been what been done in all making all the ghosts. So there's something there where it's like, okay, I guess if you mess with the bodies, it makes a ghost.
I have a question.
Yes.
The episode with the preschool and then the child in the picture, did y'all ever
Yeah.
find anything else about that?
No, so I feel like Killian kinda did a good job swaying at least my view of it, which is that for years, like, this has been a picture that's gone around our friend group for probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. I always thought it was a little girl, and then the moment Killian looked at it, he was like, "This is probably a boy in a hood." Since looking at that with that perspective, that's kind of spot on to me.
I
Yeah.
also worked in a preschool, unfortunately, and I cannot keep track of children's locations. Like they are impossible to track. You will be like, "Oh,
Fast.
this kid was right beside me," and you'll look and you'll be like, "Oh, he's in the gorilla cage." Like they're just so quick. Like you got to be like on them all the time. So the idea of like I'm just not convinced by like, "Oh, this couldn't have been I knew all the kids in the room." I was like, "No, you don't." No, if you think you know what every kid in the room is, they are tricking you. They're eating rocks. They're going down the slide upside down. They're doing some kind of crazy stuff.
I
I
mean,
mean,
as a parent, it's not wrong.
no, I am famous in my household for being able to, like, disappear from situations in which I was required to be doing, like, yard work because
Uh-huh. That's my kid. So are my kids.
my dad loves to, like, farm and do yard work and, like, plant stuff, and I would, like, wait for a neighbor to come over and, like, get them talking and then just disappear when my dad turned his back, or I'd, like, offer to get my dad a soda, and then I would have my mom bring the soda out and just stay in my room, and so he would, like, get the soda, and so it would take, like, 10 minutes before he's like, "Wait, where'd where'd Kill go? He didn't bring the soda." 'Cause who brought the
I
soda?
asked him
And so,
for the
yeah.
soda.
Yeah. So these kids might have been doing mind games.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not see, this is why I enjoy it because 'cause I'm like, "He's not wrong."
Yeah.
And that's my every experience on every episode is that I get grounded in reality every single time.
Also, I think a big part of the picture that's scary is that there's like a creepy paper mache owl thing. They shouldn't have made that. You can't make an owl that scares you. If it's scaring you in the picture, it's scaring the kids.
Well, the
So you can't make a demon owl and then be like, "Whoa, this is a scary picture I took of the thing I made," you
The
know?
creepiest part is, and Ashley, I don't know if you want, like, I can send you the picture if you wanna share it with your listeners or anything, but, like, the creepiest part is the owl is looking directly at the ghost kid, so it adds an
Hmm,
extra layer of, like, spookiness to it.
I think it's a little bit of like, paintings that follow you.
Oh, yeah.
The eyes sort of direct where your eye line wants them to go, you know? It's just like
Yeah.
sort of pointing wherever.
Well,
It's a
that's how
weird
my
owl.
kids feel about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just got her. She's watching you. No matter where you move, she's gonna watch
That's ok Oh, okay. I was the only person who thought, the Annabelle doll was cute, so I was alone on that island.
I did listen to that episode. You surprised me in that episode, actually. Of all the people that were on that one, maybe I listened wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure because I was like,
I'm unpredictable. I'm here for the content. I'm here to you know?
yeah, that one, you made a lot of good points, and I was like, "Okay, I can see that. Okay, I can see that." But I will tell you, when you're in the middle of experiencing things, somebody like you trying to ground is like, "Shut up.
I've
No."
never been in To be fair, I've never, I don't take the show on the road and, like, pull people aside when they're breaking down, you know?
We'll get there.
Also, I think half of the ghost stories are, like, panic attacks too, and I think the worst thing to do is to be like, "What, are you crazy?" Like, that's not gonna help
Don't do
anybody, you know?
don't do that. Don't do that.
I've never been in that situation. I'm sure I would handle it great. I'm good under pressure.
That is true. I actually
Well,
that's not a joke.
imagine though you're scared by a ghost, and then I draw my blade and run into the fray, and you're like, "Wow, he's
That
got my
guy.
back. He's doing Lord's work in there."
That's
You
my
know?
hero right
In
there.
the hallway.
Where were you when I was dealing with my haunting?
Well, yours was kinda tall. I don't know if I wanted to be
You're
you
like,
run in there, I'm gonna
"Never
step on
mind." Yeah, he
Ashley,
was
no, he's 250. Help.
he was that really changed my perspective. Like, I've always been so my first experience I have, like, 2 that kinda blend together, but, like, the first one that really got me was a shared experience with my dad and my mom, and I was babysitting. I was so excited. It was my first babysitting gig. I was 13, and I ran up to the person's house. It was my parents' friends. They had a little boy that I was gonna babysit, and I rang the doorbell, and I heard a dog barking, and I was like, "Oh, they have a dog," you know? And they opened the door, and there was no dog, and I was like, "Okay, he's a biter." They put him up. Hours later, they come back, and I heard the dog bark a little bit throughout the night, but never found the dog. And they come in, and I sat up, and I'm like, "Hey, where's your dog?" And the owner stopped, and he looked at my parents, and he's like, "Well, your dad actually asked me the same thing. Our dog died 6 months ago, and we hear him, but we never know who does, so we don't talk about it." So me, my mom, and my dad all heard the dog that died, and that was my first experience, but
Mhm.
that really kinda stuck with me, but it wasn't until I bought this haunted house that it was like, "Oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot." When you live it, it really changes your perspective on things.
Were you angling for a haunted house when you bought it, or were you
No, I had no
okay.
idea.
I always ask. It doesn't sound like anyone ever is, but I'm always just curious.
Now, I would buy one now, but I would not live in it. When you live in it, it's the energy in the air that you feel, but you can't see. So it's almost living like you're next to one of those big power poles all the time. And it's just energized all the time. So it's almost like anxiety all the time because you can feel it, but you can't see it. And now that
Yeah.
I don't live there, I don't have that anymore. And it's like, God. But I would love a place that I could research, you know?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I was gonna say it's like the 49ers practice facility is too close to, like, an electrical building. I don't know if you heard this news story.
I haven't.
One listener is gonna be like, "Wow, yeah, they're right." There's, like, the 49ers, someone did, like, a test and their facility, their practice facility is, like, too close to a, like, transformer storage building, and so, like, they get, like, 52 ohms of electrical discharge more than the standard, and so because the 49ers get injured all the time, the football team, and people are like, "Why do they get so many injuries?" And someone was like, "I've solved it. It's because of the electrical equipment they're tuning." I just like
Makes
the
sense
idea
to
of,
me.
maybe their facility's haunted by
Yeah.
a ghost who tore his hamstring in, like, the '70s, you know?
He's out there just whacking people. I don't know,
Yeah.
even though it's
I
football,
wish I
he's
could
got
still
a
run
bat.
like you.
I didn't do well, so you're not either. Hamstring.
The Tanya Harding effect is what we're calling it in the laws of paraphysics.
I love it. I remember when that happened. I was watching was it
Uh,
the Olympics when that happened? I was watching
yeah.
whatever happened when that happened, and it was like,
Mm.
yeah,
I was gonna say something, but you might have to cut it. My last name is everyone would always be like, "Are you related to?" And I'd be like, "No."
we'll cut it out so nobody
Yeah,
doxes you,
I
but
don't wanna
yes,
dox myself, yeah.
yeah. I have to be careful because my last name is I'm not sure if you realize there's not a lot of Ashley,
Oh, yeah.
No.
so easy
It's
to
a pretty
find.
ghostly last name, to be honest.
I think it's a great last name.
Like, if you rolled up and you were like, "I'm Ashley, the ghosting secretary, detective secretary general," like, it's very, like, Southern ghost lawyer.
What's really funny, it's my ex-husband's name, and I'm remarried, and I'm like, I'm not changing my name." My husband's like,
Uh,
"Okay."
yeah.
I really like it. I really
I think
like it.
if you get, like, a good sounding name, just, like, keep it. Stay in the
Right?
pocket. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like, I had somebody tell me once, they're like, "You're gonna be famous one day with that name like that." And I'm like, "Yes. Yes, I
You might
am."
have to cut this, but we have a last name in common.
Well, maybe we're related.
Hello, cousin.
Alright. I knew I liked you. What's really funny, so my grandmother is my lead spirit guide, right? She's always around. When she was alive and I was born, they thought I was gonna be a boy. Well, then I came out, surprise, I'm not a boy. She changed the spelling of my middle name and it pissed my grandmother off. Like she was Southern Belle from Lebanon. She was like really proud because it was a family name. And gave my mom hell for changing the spelling to make it more feminine. Well, when I got married, I dropped it. I had a psychic reading a couple years ago, and I've never had one before. And the lady's like, "You have a really strong female presence, and she's really mad about a name that you dropped." And I was like, uh, and it was
She
like,
caught you.
she did. Oh my gosh. So what's funny is I was working with a mentor to try to strengthen my psychic abilities and my medium abilities because like they're all over the place. And she's like, call out to your spirit guide. It's your grandmother, call her out. So I called out to her and she came to me in a dream. And same grandmother, the Lebanese grandma that's like this tall with her big curly hair, permed. She came in my dream. She came in the room and she looked at me and she said, "I don't like that you're into this stuff." And I was like, "Same grandma. I'm surprised she
If
didn't
you're
yell at me
not,
for my
then
name."
how are you supposed to talk to her?
I was gonna say if you get out of the, out of the paranormal stuff, she's gonna show up and be like, "Why don't you talk to me anymore? You
You
never call
never
me anymore."
call. Can't win. You can't win with mamas, and grandmas. You never call me anymore. Yep.
Have you been eating enough? Stuff. You're like, okay, grandma, thank you.
Yep. 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 I get it. She was the only grandmother. I was always bigger than other people, and she was the only grandmother that never called me fat.
Oh,
Families love to say the meanest shit of all time and then be like, wait, you're mad at me?
You remember that?
I called you an ugly Poindexter 27 times in 2 weeks and you're mad at me about it?
That sounds really like pointed. Has that happened?
Yeah, once in a while. No, I don't. My family's, we're just mean. Like we're free flying mean to each other. We just say, we're off the cuff and mean all the time. So now it all bounces off. I'm like
No.
resilient.
Well, okay.
Thanks, Dad.
Sounds
I
like
start
you
crying
need a hug.
immediately.
So who is your ghost guy right above your head? I really like him.
this one?
Nope, not that one. No, no, no.
Can.
This one.
Yes.
That is Can Can. He is our lovable, hateable mascot. I
High
don't
five.
even
I don't like him.
I
I don't want him
honestly
around.
I don't even really remember how he came about. I think I remembered an activity that my mom had us do when she ran a daycare, which was to make like little tissue paper ghosts where you put cotton balls in the a tissue and then like wrap a string around it. And I remembered that and I was like, "Oh, that would be kind of fun for the podcast." And I didn't want to do like disposable tissue. So this is, I think, just like a restaurant napkin or something with a sock inside. Drew a little face on him. And he has a very distinct voice that people tend to hate. And he's a little sweetie. The two clash and people
He's a liar, first of all. He's
I
not
think
sweet at
people
all.
hate him more than they like him, but
I don't
I sure like him.
Yeah. I'm sort of predisposed to not liking whimsy of any kind. And so anytime there's like a whimsical little ghost on there, I'm
Bah.
too much for me.
And
I'm Irish and mean and I don't want ghosts around.
the name Can Can, I think I think we had a ghost from an early episode who liked to stack cans.
Yeah.
So that it was a reference to that. We were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's the can stacking ghost.
He
He's the one who's stacking all the cans."
the can stacking ghost is from Bridgewater State University, which is my alma mater. It's where I went to school. So I just explained the word alma mater, but it's I went to Bridgewater and then he stacked cans and I was like, okay, that's the most like drunk frat boy activity of all time is stacking cans and putting them
It
over.
really is.
And then Trev really liked the idea of a ghost just like having a little hobby.
And my cousin who really likes the show, um, actually hates Can Can so much that he says anytime he shows up in an episode, he just skips the rest of the episode.
Dang.
So we got to
See,
backload the can.
my favorite part is like when you do videos and you zoom up on him, like he's got an opinion about things. That's what I love because it makes me laugh every time because it's like y'all are talking and having some kind of dialogue, and then it's can can.
Yeah. Well, Trev thinks he's sweet, but I think he has a sort of judgmental presence. So I think he's always sort of looming over and his eyes are watching me and waiting for me to slip up,
You
You and
can't
the
see it,
eyes,
but we
man.
also we have a framed photo of him on the mic over
Yeah.
on this side. That's usually behind Killian in our clips.
Yeah. Well, all I know is if you start selling other can cans, like mini can cans, I'm buying one and I'm gonna put him on my shelf over here.
Uh, that
Nice.
honestly, I don't know. Well, I mean, I would love to sell one. We'll find a way to get you one without selling it.
That or I can make my own.
That oh, well, that's
It might be a little hard for you to pull off.
They're Restaurant napkins are really hard to come by.
I mean, can's kind of one of a kind, so yeah.
I don't want you to get, like, arrested trying to steal dinner napkins from a nearby joint, you know?
Well,
I know my friends, I won't say their names, they have put cups in their purses
Oh,
for their
yeah.
husband before, and I'm like and
Yeah.
me being, the ex-government employee, and I'm like,
yeah.
Can't run for president with that kinda oppo on you, you know? It's too much.
"Right?" That one time
Yeah,
he
we went to,
stole a
like
beer mug.
there's like a karaoke bar that has, like, a little a mug shaped like a lucky the Lucky Cats with the swinging arms?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my little brother really likes them, we took him out to this karaoke bar, and they have a drink, they sell it in the mug, and then you can
Wait,
buy the mug separately.
how old was your little brother when you took him to a karaoke bar? Question.
23, 24.
Okay, old enough. Okay, consent. Yeah,
Once
gotcha.
was always a little
He was
brother.
allowed to drink, and so it was like a mixed drink in the thing, and then he was like, "Oh, I love the mug." And then my friend was like, "Oh, yeah, you can buy it." And then he was like, "Sure, man." And then he just walked out with the mug. And then my friend was like, "Your brother stole it." And I was like, "Yeah, he's not gonna pay 15 of my dollars to get the mug. Like, I'd rather have him steal it than take money from me." Like, he didn't have a job at this point. Like, I'm not paying for the mug.
My wife bought the mug.
Rebels. So I walk out with mugs.
See, that would be me. I'd be like, "I'll pay. I'll pay for it. I don't need to get smacked with karma for stealing a mug."
My mother would do it, but only at a restaurant where there's no chance they're selling the mug. It would have to be like a regular restaurant, and she's trying to buy like a normal bar glass, and they would be like, "What are you talking about?" She'd be like, "I'll pay for it. You can put it on the bill." And they'd be like, "No, I'm a 17-year-old. I'm not doing that." Like that's why my mother pulled that move.
That's awesome. We got so this Christmas, we did like adult games and kid games, and each person that
Mm.
won got to pick a gift. One of the gifts my husband got were those red, like Pizza Hut cups. You know, those
Oh,
plastic
yeah.
Coca-Cola cups? We got like 4 of those. And my first question was, who'd you steal these from?
Yeah.
Throwback.
Pizza places are not well guarded, I'll say. From having worked at one, you could lean over the counter and take whatever you want. I wasn't stopping you.
Hmm, good to know. So if I want a whole set, I just gotta go to the local Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Don't mind
Yeah,
me.
that is like a good drinking experience. But the cup you're drinking out of changes how things taste. And the pizza place, like the hard plastic cup is a great cup to drink a fizzy soda out of.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. The Coke or I don't know what y'all call it, soda or pop or whatever. It's so crispy, especially from those red plastic cups that are this big.
Yeah. And the it's not too thick of a rim. If the rim's too thick, it like breaks it up wrong. It's the exact right. This is like really important to me.
Next time she steals some cups, I will let you know and I'll send you some.
We'll do a can cup swap sort of
Yeah.
exchange.
A can cup.
Hey, make a note. Yep, I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so before we wrap up, because my girls will be home from dance, they're already mad at me. I've been recording since about 4. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm tired.
Jeez.
Not consecutively. It's been on and off, but
Okay.
still. It's I've been up in this attic for a while. Is there anything else about your show or about your experiences that you'd like to share?
I guess this is kind of a funnier, not, I don't know. The show has actually made me believe in ghosts less, which makes me more desperate to believe in ghosts. It's that the problem is that since I'm doing the research, a lot of
Yeah.
time I am looking for something that's going to convince. I know realistically I'll never convince Killian, but something that's going to convince me, and I haven't necessarily found anything. So it's been like hard for me to cope with the fact that I'm like, okay, all these things are haunted, but none of them have convinced me yet, and I don't know why. Which is why I like firsthand stories like yours and other people who like we actually talk to a lot more than like articles or blogs that I stumble upon on the internet.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. It makes sense. It really does.
Yeah.
But
And I'm
I
kind of
will
the
tell
opposite. I believe in ghosts now.
oh, well, oh my gosh, get him a shirt.
No, no. The funny thing was when we started the show and we started getting the kinds of stories, I was like, I want really like rigorous, believable, concrete, specific stories. And then we did an episode where a guy was like, "Yeah, me and 20 people went in, and only me and my brother came out, and the driver was dead, and there was blood in the car." And that was so funny and awesome that I kind of want every story to be insane now. I believability is gone. I want the ghost to be ripping people in half like a Blair Witch book I would get at school, the school book fair, like
It
just
was a lot of
insane
fun.
stuff.
What
It-
episode was that?
I think it's the
I think
most
it
recent
just
one.
came
It
out
just
actually.
came out. Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's the Lad School in Exeter, Rhode Island, I
Part
believe.
2. I think it's part 2 of the Lad School, but you do have to listen to part 1 first.
Well,
That's
you know I will.
Yeah, yeah. But all of the stories are, like, so high octane, and it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we call our fans junior and senior binkers. Junior
Right.
binkers are people like me who want to believe or who do believe. Senior binkers are people like Killian who don't believe. But we had to invent freshman binkers for these stories because they were so unhinged that freshman binkers are people who will believe just about anything and make up stories. That's what most of those stories are,
They
freshman
don't know how a
binkers.
lunch line works. They go to the wrong period in class. You're like, "What are you doing? Why are you in gym clothes?" And they're like, "I thought it was gym day." You're like, "What is wrong with you?"
Makes complete sense. I get it. I get it. I'm like sitting here trying to think like what is my most like unhinged ghost story? I can't even think of one right now because I'm trying to think of one. So I'm like, I don't know. I've never experienced a ghost, but I know I have.
I think like the actual believable stories are probably like from people who've had the experience because that's something that, like you said, is very personal and it's a I'd be more likely to believe someone's feelings than I would to believe someone reading something online or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. They're having death, like big time deaths. We were pushing like 20 something deaths in this one story.
Literally, they claimed
that is
18 people died.
they were like we went in there with 20 people. Two people came out and the driver died. And I was like, did you not like report cop
that
there
would
was a
be
blood
in the
stain?
news.
Also,
Somewhere.
20
Right.
people went. They must have taken like 5 cars. So
Wait,
do 4
were y'all
cars in the parking lot
caravanning?
of this old school. Yeah, it was incredible.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that. I was gonna listen today and then I got like caught up with something else and it was just like before I knew it, I was interviewing. And I'm like, wait, but yes, I'll have to listen to that one. Now I will say I'm probably gonna catch heat for this because this is a big location that a lot of my friends go to, the SK Pierce episode.
Yeah.
I liked your episode. It made me laugh. I actually have friends that were there this weekend. So it just made me laugh because just how y'all talked about it and how you explained it, I was like,
That one of the big mansions?
Yeah,
yeah,
Is that like the Northwestern Mass mansion? Is that
it's in
which one?
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
yeah. That one's near
Is that
us.
the doctor who was like killing kids? Or am I thinking of the other one?
No, no, no. He was a furniture builder and his wife died, and then he married like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that because Trev was like, "What do you think happened next?" I was like, "I bet he married a 14-year-old."
You called it, and it made
I was
I
like,
was
"Wow."
sitting in my house laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, he nailed it."
Every time I went to school for music. And so I'd be reading these like biographies of these composers to like learn what they were thinking when they were writing their music. And every single time it'd be like, he was happily married, but then an 11-year-old walked into his piano studio and 4 years later, and I'd be like, oh my God, dear Lord, like, oh my, no, and it
I
happens
think
quite
I
a bit.
blocked that out from when I was in music class.
Composers love marrying their piano students, I've learned.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
that's not okay.
oh, no. Well, anyway, there's
On that
that.
note,
On that note,
You're all
thank you
ghosts.
for listening.
You're suffering.
Well, where can everybody find you? If they are just loving you like I am, where can they find you? Tell them all about you.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, there's no one centralized location they can go to.
actually, Killian, you could go to ghostbinkers.com.
Who'd have thunk?
And I don't think Ghost Binkers is hard to spell, but that is Binkers, Binkers.
Yeah.
Not bankers
Yeah.
or anything.
Not a super confident spelling from you, to be honest. There.
I don't know
It's a
how
little
to spell.
stumbly.
I'm
There was
bored.
some hesitation.
and we post
Oh.
on Thursdays?
We post on
Wednesdays?
every
Again,
Wednesday
I
at,
listen on Thursdays.
at 2 a.m. So if you have like an early shift, we'll be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I
Upgrade
post at
your
3
perhaps?
a.m.
Yeah.
3 a.m. would probably be the smart
No,
choice.
no, they run
for,
right
for a ghost show.
Right,
but
right from the Binkers, right into the Ghost Gossip podcast. You get, and then your 4 o'clock.
That's true.
Your
That's a
4
good
a.m.
point.
end of shift graveyard shift ends, and you get to go out into the world.
What else do you need at that point? You have Ghost Binkers, you have Ghost Gossip, you have everything you need. And y'all are on TikTok, Instagram. Are y'all on Facebook?
Not Facebook.
Not Facebook, no Twitter either.
I know y'all are younger than me. There's a huge paranormal community on Facebook.
Mhm.
So I kind of hesitate, but I was surprised how large the paranormal community is on Facebook. So it might be worth considering because I have had a really great group of people. I've met so many wonderful people on Facebook, and I know Facebook's Facebook, but still, I was really surprised.
No.
Trev and I are slightly scared of paranormal communities because of me, and
True.
I'm worried about putting my foot forward, and they're like, "Who is this person?"
Well, that's why
Belittling me,
well-
belittling my favorite ghost mansion.
I think that's kind of why our dynamic works. Is I lead with the wannabe believer, and ghost people flock to me and they try to show me why I should believe.
And I'm looming.
And then I'm like, so Killian's with me. Can Killian come in too? And they're like, yeah.
maybe it was just rats in the building.
Well, I will say, as somebody who is a believer, who has had experiences, who does investigate and go out. I go to all these places. I think y'all are both amazing. I like you both. You both
Thank
are
you.
equal parts wonderful. You balance each other out, and it's a pleasure to listen to you. And it truly is such a pleasure to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to it. I even told my husband, I am so excited because I have watched them grow from very early on, and they are amazing, and you have wonderful potential, and you are going places. And I really do. Trust me, y'all keep at it. You are just where you need to be.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank
You're
you.
gonna make me blush.
Well,
Today's actually the final episode. We're done.
you better not be.
No, no,
Well,
no, no.
also thank you, Ashley, because like I said, you are a day one for us, and it's been really great getting to know you and listening to your show when I can and talking to you about all things ghosts, and hopefully we'll have many more collaborations in the future.
Absolutely. Open invitation. You ever get bored, want to come on and talk, y'all just let me know. Y'all are always welcome. And everybody, I know all my listeners, it might be a little bit different for them, but I have amazing listeners who are very supportive. They kind of reach out and embrace everybody. And I really hope that they do the same for you. Trust me, it is healthy to have a healthy level of skepticism, and I do appreciate it. And y'all are a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your personalities with us.
Anytime,
Thank
and
you.
we'll have to get you in some binking gear at some point soon.
You just let me know. You just let me know. And
It's
y'all,
like a heavy scuba mask.
I'm okay with that.
No suit, just a big mat, just a big head.
Yep, just the head. Just kind of like a big old.
Whacking off stuff in sconces.
Hey, I'm good with that. Well, thank you for coming on. Y'all go follow them, show them all the love. Make sure you're following along. They're on Instagram and TikTok. Go to their website, listen to their podcast. And while you're there, you can follow me too. Ghost Gossip, Ghost Gossip Pod, Ghost Gossip Podcast, and Ghost Gossip 24/7 at gmail.com. Until next time, they'll see you later. Hold on, I got to figure out my mouse.
Don't hit the side button.